So
Okay.
when worn, it prevents all light sources from degrading when performing rituals. And this is the Ensouled Pumpkin Mask. And in many ways, this is the rare from this promo because the Pumpkin Beret, that's the second most rare. And believe it or not, the Orange Halloween Mask is the third most rare. So we have, you would think that it would be the Halloween Mask that would be the grand prize in this, but it's actually the Ensouled Pumpkin Mask.
Well, because one has a use and one is
Yeah,
just purely a
well,
cosmetic.
I mean,
And this is a 0.12% chance off a treasure hunter. 0.12%.
So what's that, about 2,000 keys?
Let's see, 300 would be 1%. Yeah, around there, around 2,500 or so, I'd say probably.
Mm.
And that's not even to be guaranteed. That's just to be the point where you would, start having a higher chance of getting it, right?
Yes.
So, and and that's where we get to the point. And was this the aspect of the rares you wanted, or the rewards you wanted to talk about, Tannis, or?
I mean, it is, and so, like, I actually think that's a really good point Pronouncius brings up on, permanency versus during the event.
Yeah.
And we can look at the Golden Cape, right? Like, that was incredible. Wish it still worked. It doesn't.
I love that.
Yeah. But
or you could just charge it up somehow.
But this does, and I don't say it lightly. I don't. But that's kind of pay to win. And if I was working through necromancy like hardcore or had a goal to reach 120 by a certain time, I would drop some money to get that, because that's a good reward.
Well, yes, it is, but it's. I mean, you have to read.
You went exactly where I wanted you to, Tannis.
Candles
right on.
aren't overly expensive. You've got to click to. Yeah, you right click the totem in the middle to just redo everything anyway. So technically, yes, it is, but I don't think it's egregious pay to win.
But it's definitely further, I think, than we've been.
Oh yes,
in the past. Like,
yeah, we've taken. We're blurring that line now.
Yeah.
Right, and that's where this gets really interesting, because this is, like you mentioned, a series of buffs. We started with the Golden Cape buff, like you mentioned, Tannis, and what was in the middle of that? The Hero Pass buffs. Those were removed, and here's the other end of it. Here's the other end of the spectrum. A gameplay buff awarded by a treasure hunter, and potentially a pumpkin as well. But knowing the way things work with monetization, probably more rare with the pumpkin party pumpkins and the smashing pumpkins. So,
and like, the question that keeps coming up to me in my mind is, I'm assuming that this has already been in place for a long time before the kerfluffle, let's call it. And if that's the case, they were really going in hard.